ever want to see your fucking little puny ass face again. If you were in Australia, I would fucking bash you. Hola everybody, welcome back to my channel, and pardon me, this is a bit of a rant. I've waited so long just to make this video. I didn't want to talk about it during the heat of the moment because this is something that really fucking pissed me off, because this is honestly the biggest rant of my whole life and I can rant about this for a really fucking long time. But all in all, what this is about this guy who worked for my store. And if you guys don't know, I have an online store called Universal Hobo, and I sell clothes and merchandise, tapestries and accessories over there. And I had someone help me open up the store and work for me, and this guy completely fucked me over, and this is going to fucking piss you off. I had this patron one month called, we'll call him Douglas Dipshit. So I look at my patrons and I find out that this guy is donating $30 a month to me. And the reward you get for donating $30 a month to me is that you get to have a Skype call with me as well as like a letter. So I Skyped him, and he was very different compared to my other patrons. A lot of my other patrons were more like fans in a way. And he was very different. He kind of used patron as an investment, so he was investing into me. Anyway, so he had been donating to me for a year and a half, which is the longest patron I ever had, which means that I was pretty close to him because we did Skype quite frequently. I was looking for someone to help open up a store because I wanted to open up an online store. So I was selling a lot on Depop, and I just wanted to turn my Depop store into an online store. And I met up with some people, but they were very flaky. The first guy I met up with, he showed up an hour and a half late, and the next time we were supposed to meet up, he just ghosted me. One day when I was Skyping Douglas Dipshit, I was just kind of bitching to him about what was happening. I was like, oh my god, this guy didn't even show up, like this is so annoying, holding me back. And Douglas was hearing me out and was like, hey, why don't I help you open up an online store? And I was like, oh, what, you can do that? And he's like, yeah, I'll like look into it. And I didn't really think that he was going to take it very seriously. And then the next week and a half, he got back to me and the store was fully functioning. So all we had to do was wait for the business license. So I went off, bought a business license, and by April of last year, 2017, the store was up and running. He was very, very proactive. He was very keen to talk about ideas, promotions. He taught me how to use Shopify, and Shopify is the software that is used to open up an online store. So he taught me how to use that as well too, because I'm not very tech savvy and he was. Also, keep in mind that Douglas lived in America, so the time zones were really shit, and every time I called him, it was either really early in the morning for me or really early in the morning for him. We worked really well together for the first couple months, and I was paying him pretty fucking well, and the reason why is because he was a patron for a year and a half, donating $30 a month to me, and so I made his paycheck quite high because I wanted to pay him back for investing in me, and I wanted to invest in people who invested in me. He was only required to do about 3 hours of work a week, which is not that much. You can complete that on the weekends or before you go to bed. Around October 2017, I started to realize that he was slacking quite a bit. He called me and told me that he hired an assistant. And when I asked him who she was, I found out it was a girl that he had a crush on. I was kind of, first of all, confused that he didn't ask me first, but I wasn't going to be too fussed about it because I trusted him. And so when he said he hired an assistant who ended up being some girl that he liked, I asked him how much he was paying her to do his job, because I thought he was just paying her temporarily because he had a full-time job at a fast food restaurant. So I know that maybe his hours were more busy and that's why he paid someone to do his work for him. And I found out that he ended up paying her more than I paid him. So obviously he was trying to use money to kind of lure this girl or whatever. But I didn't think too much of it, and I honestly didn't think it was going to last because, you know what, it didn't. After about a month, I asked him about her again, and he said it didn't work out. So I was like, phew, okay, whatever. But even that That was a red flag number one. In November, I could start to see that Douglas was giving me really slow replies, and he was slacking off, and every time I asked him to fix something, he would take so long to get back to me. Douglas did make, mistakes when we were opening up the store, but that's like every business you start. You always make mistakes along the way, and I never ever yelled at him for making any mistakes. There were many mistakes that he did make by accident that cost us a little bit of money, but it was a learning curve, and I always told him, you know what, if there's something you can't do, you just gotta let me know so I can fill in the blanks. If you can't do something because you have too many shifts, that's okay. You just gotta let me know so I can do them for you. So his communication started to really go bad. Like, he just wasn't communicating well to me, and he was taking so long to reply. Keep in mind that his tasks were pretty fucking easy to do. He had 3 main tasks to do, and I paid him fucking well to do these tasks. Like I said, less than 3 hours of work a week. So these tasks included checking the customer service email and responding to our customers, setting 1 advertisement a week, that's 4 advertisements a month. So making an advertisement on Facebook literally takes 5 minutes. You just post 5 photos up and then you advertise it. And the third thing he had to do was fulfill orders through a drop shipping app, which is just clicking stuff. Literally just clicking stuff. When I finally got a hold of him in November, he answered and he told me that he was going to do better, and he said he knew he was slacking, and he knew he wasn't putting his full effort in it, and that things were going to change and he was going to do a better job. I was happy to hear that he could tell that he wasn't putting a good amount of effort, and that he was assuring me, saying that he was going to put better effort. So I trusted him, and he sounded very genuine when he said that. And the times that we would tend to catch up were Mondays. So December comes around, and Christmas and New Year's land on a Mondays. Those days I was with my family, and I knew that Douglas would probably be with his family, so I didn't call him during Christmas and New Year's, but I did give him a $100 bonus just for thanking him for working this year with me on this store. So in December, Universal Hobo made about 150 sales, which was incredible and understandable because December is the month where everyone is buying gifts for their loved ones. Because there was so many fucking sales, I asked Douglas, do you need any help fulfilling the orders or doing your part? Because suddenly, instead of making 40 sales a month, we made 150 to 200 sales that month. So I offered him help, and he assured me, no, it's fine, I've got everything under control. And I was like, great, perfect. The reason why there was so many sales is because as a New Year's gift to my sunflowers, I told you guys that if you leave your phone number after a purchase, I would call you. So in the first week of January, I spent 13 hours this one day just ringing you guys, talking with you guys, putting all my energy into you guys, and at the end of the day, I was just so exhausted, and it was such a draining day. Not that talking to you guys is draining, but I just really wanted to get to know you guys, and I spent my entire day sitting on my ass just talking and talking and talking to you guys, and so I put so much effort into that. When I finally got hold of him in the second week of January, he told me that he didn't do his job for the entirety of December.
I'm literally about to fucking kill myself!
So he didn't do his job at all during December, despite the fact that I gave him $100 fucking bonus. I was just fucking frustrated. I've never yelled at this kid ever. No matter how many mistakes he's made, I never ever fucking yelled at him. But at this point, I think he could tell that I was fucking pissed. So I clarified on the phone with him. So you're telling me that you didn't put out a single advertisement in December, you didn't respond to a single fucking email, and you're telling me you didn't fulfill a fucking order when there was so many fucking orders that people are waiting for to give their family members and their loved ones these gifts for the new year, and they're going to arrive, what, in February? So during the busiest month of the year, you decide to just back out and not even let me know. And I clarified to him again, when I asked you if you needed help, you said no, when you could have just said yes. And I spent 13 hours that day just putting all my effort into living up to this promotion, and you can't even fucking click a couple buttons and type a couple emails or even just message me and tell me what you can't do. So at this point in the phone call, I think he realizes that I'm about to fucking fire him. And he quickly and quietly says, Well, I've hired an assistant to do my job for me. Note that this is the second time where he wants to hire an assistant he has a crush on just so he can get someone to do his easy fucking job for him. Not that this guy is stupid. This guy is smart if he puts his mind to it, if he puts his effort to it. He is just careless, and he has a bit of a narcissistic personality to him, and I think he needs to grow up. Like, this person is obviously very childish, very immature, and needs to grow the fuck up. While I continue talking, you guys are going to figure out what type of character this motherfucker Douglas Dipshit is. I go off on him like this is the perfect thing you can say, because this is how I'm going to fire you. So anyways, I say to him, instead of you finding someone to do your job for you, I'm going to find someone better to fucking do your job. He realizes that I don't fucking want him or his crush to work for me if he can't even do his job, which is easy enough already, which I pay so much for him to do. And at this point, I think he was just getting comfortable, getting paid well, and me putting trust in him. And obviously, he took advantage of it. But it gets so much worse, guys, and the rant doesn't even fucking begin. The worst thing about this entire situation is that we took out a loan from Shopify, so the software our store is in. So we took $1,000 loan. So every sale we make, we give Shopify a certain percentage to pay back for the loan. So we got $1,000, and as a deal, I told Douglas that he was going to keep $500 to put out advertisements. So instead of spending like $30, $40 a month on advertising, now we were going to spend $100 or something, and we were going to start advertising even more. And I was going to keep the other $500 to buy for supplies like stickers, merchandise, jumpers, shirts, dye, invested into the store, and he was supposed to use $500 for advertising when he tells me on the busiest month of the year, December, he didn't put out a single advertisement, which meant $500 of my dollars from my store, from my business, is sitting in his pockets doing nothing, not being invested into the store. Obviously, I'm fucking pissed. I realize he's taken a personal attack on me, and imagine how many of my sunflowers, my followers, the people who support me are gonna be let down finding out that all these items are gonna arrive so much later. Do you know how upsetting that made me feel? And it didn't even make him blink one eye. I was fucking pissed because you just took a shit on everything I love. So I was just fucking pissed. The reason why Douglas took out the loan is because I live in Australia and you can only get a Shopify loan if you live in the US. So he was the one who took out the loan. And so while I'm on the phone call with Douglas, I'm letting him know, you've got to give me the $500 back right now. You took $500 and didn't spend it on advertising. You stole it. So I ask him if he can send me all the $500 now, and he tells me that he can't because he already spent the money. And I said to him, how could you spend the money when you didn't let out a single advertisement in December? Then what the fuck did you spend the money on? And this guy is a stoner. I realized he could have spent it on anything, but he says to me, I don't want to tell you. And I'm like, tell me, like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's like my bro to me. We're friends at this point. We work together. And I'm like, why can't you tell me? Like, you tell me everything else. Like, we're close. We talk about normal things. He didn't want to tell me. Obviously, he must have felt ashamed for fucking blowing it off because he's a stupid, immature little boy. So he then tells me that he can pay me the following week when he gets his paycheck. On the phone call, I remind him that I would have spent my money from my own pockets to help him out if he needed to pay rent, if he got in a sticky situation, if he got robbed, if he owed somebody money. I would have helped him, and I would have got money out of my own pockets to support him. He should have known that, but obviously he had to take a loan and disguise it as he was going to use it for advertising, and instead spent it on something else. I just need to see that money in my bank within the next week so I can find someone else to do his job for him. So the rest of the week, he ignores me, he leaves me on red. I'm trying to get things sorted with the store. There's a lot of things on the store that he does that I don't know how to do, so I'm trying to ask him for help, and he just ignores me the entire week. So During Monday, I look into my account. What a surprise, no fucking money in my bank account. I finally get hold of him on Tuesday, and then he sends me less than half of the money back. I need to get a new laptop so I can go to uni, so I can edit videos, so I can make money, so I can pay for my uni, all this stuff, and all of my future is literally just in his pockets, just sitting there. And I'm so anxious. During January, like pretty much every night, I was so anxious that I was crying. I was so upset. I was so worried about the future of the store. Even the cycle I was in, like I can feel it. Like I can relive it because I was so upset and scared, and this was my passion, my business. I was letting you guys down by just having this guy take so long to just give me the money back so I can pay back the loan, so I can kick him off the store. I'm scrolling through Instagram one day and I follow someone, and you know when you follow someone, there's this like banner that comes up and it says, oh, you should follow this person, you should follow this person, and this thing comes up and it says you should follow this person, and I click on it, I look at the name, and it's called something along the lines of, it's not actually this, Fashion's Cure. So I go on the Instagram, I look at it, and I see CEO and founder of Fashion's Cure, Douglas DIPSHIT. And there's about 5 photos up, and a few of those photos were items that I sold on my store, but obviously this was someone else's store, DIPSHIT store. I find the store, I Google it, I search Fashion's Cure, I go on the website, and lo and behold, it's obviously DIPSHIT's website. And half of the products that were on the store were like products that I put up on my store, and the other half of the products from the store were just shit male clothes that I wouldn't even want my boyfriend to wear. Like if my boyfriend wore some of those clothes, I would dump him because they were so bad. And I hired Douglas because he was good at technology, not because he was good at fashion. His fashion sense was terrible. Like he was stuck. So when he opened up this online store and there was these horrible products, I was just like, what do you think? Like, no one would spend like $40 on this horrible beanie, you know what I mean? Especially because it only costs like $10. I go on the About Me page and I'm reading it, and let me just like read out. So the About Me page said, so I was like at a mall and realized there was no clothes I really liked. That's why I, Douglas DIPSHIT, CEO and founder of Fashion's Cure, created this online store. Maybe I can be the remedy for you. Maybe I can be the cure for you. Fashion's Cure. Are you serious? You can be the cure for someone's fashion hopes. But you're a person. You're selling clothes, dude. You're not selling yourself. His face isn't on the store. His body isn't on the store. He's not modeling the clothes on the store. He's using other models on the store. And so why are you saying I can be the cure, Douglas DIPSHIT, when obviously you're selling clothes? Like literally this guy was so narcissistic that he thought that if someone needed to find clothes, finding a person is gonna be the cure for that, instead of the clothes being the cure for someone's like, oh, I want to find some clothes and I can't find anything anywhere. Obviously this guy was going through like a fucking high, and he needed to get off his fucking high horse, and it was cringy. I was literally dying of cringe, and the entire time I was on the phone with Darren, like reading out, maybe I can be the cure for you, and oh my god, Darren and I were just cracking up laughing because it was so funny. So I look around on the website, and obviously the Instagram was attached, but I already looked at the Instagram. So I look at the Facebook, I'm like, nothing special, like no likes or whatever, and I look at the Twitter, and this motherfucker this fool spelt fashion wrong. So Fashion Cure in the fucking Twitter account or whatever, and he spelt fashion without the I. Like, are you so fucking stupid, dumb, high, or whatever, that you can't even spell fashion right for a business? Like, that's so funny. Like, what a fucking cringe. Note that I spent 2 weeks trying to get a hold of him, and this is early February at this point, and I still don't have the other half of the money that he owes me. So at this point, I confront him about the website, and this is the only time where he actually got back to me. Not when I was asking him, begging him, please reply, you're making me anxious. Because before that, I was like, you're making me so anxious, please just answer my phone call, please just answer this message. And I was literally bawling my eyes out, being like, I am so upset about everything that's happening. I just need to know that you're still working on giving me the money back. Don't just ghost me. Don't just leave me on the side. Like, I need to pay for a laptop so I can put up videos, so I can pay my rent, so I can pay for my education. And all of my money was just left in his fucking hands. In the message that he actually responded to, he only responded to it is because I said, haha, it's so funny how your Twitter for your online store, you spelled fashion wrong, lol, 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 lol. Like, I was just like fucking grilling him for spelling fashion wrong for his Twitter. And that's when he responds all salty and defensive as fuck. I kind of lived it a little bit. While he's being super defensive, he pretty much calls me stupid or whatever. He tries to make like some joke trying to call me stupid, like, or at least I'm not dumb or whatever, which was so weird because this guy was obviously so dumb that he couldn't put one advertisement up a week, which is 5 minutes of work. So I then say, you stole from me, disguised it as a loan, so instead of paying that money to pay for ads, you paid for a new website that you made where half the products on the website are products that are on mine. You're telling me that's not fraud? You stole from me. While I'm in that phone call, that's what I said to him, and he says to me, I did not steal from you. And I said to him, well, my company is $500 short, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, and you put money into your company, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so you're telling me I'm short of $500 and suddenly, poof, your business is up, and you're telling me that you didn't use my money to start up your own business? And he realizes that he's fucking wrong, and then he says to me, well, I'm on the side of the road, I'll call you tomorrow, I promise, bye. And hangs up on me, and I'm just like, oh, like, this guy really had me pulling at my hair because he was so hard to talk to at this point. And this was a guy who I was friends with, who I liked. I liked that he was innovative, he was active, proactive. Now he was just groggy, distant. He told me that he was gonna call me later when he got home. Obviously, I don't hear from him for a couple of days. Like, no fucking surprise. Makes me even more anxious as fuck. Just note that, like, I have never felt so anxious my entire life because I'm just waiting for this guy so I could pay back the loan, so I can kick him off the account so he doesn't ruin anything else or sabotage me anymore. Note that, yeah, I needed a laptop and I was still paying back this loan. So every sale I made, I was still paying back the loan. I call Shopify so I can get support, so I can find out how I can pay back for all of the loan so that Douglas isn't connected to my account and I can kick him off the account. Douglas is not fucking responding to me, and at this point I start threatening him with legal action. So I'm like telling him all these fancy fucking terms because my friend's a lawyer. I'm telling him, this is what's gonna happen if you don't get back to me, if you don't pay me back, this is what's gonna happen, blah 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 blah. Finally answers my phone call, and at this point I was so stressed, I was so angry, I was so pissed, I was so anxious that the second he answers, I just burst into tears and I tell him, thank you for answering. Like, literally all I wanted him to do was answer. He could tell me, like, yes, I can't do it right now, or yes, I get my paycheck then during this time, or whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was just so fucking stressed. I was so fucking stressed. And I just bawled out crying the second he answered because it was like relief that he finally answered. And for once, he had a different type of demeanor. His fucking ego wasn't hurting him in the way, because he says to me, I'm sorry, and he says to me that he will send me an email on how to manage everything in Universal Hobo, all of his work that he does that I don't know how to do because that's what he does for his job. I asked him as well on the phone call, I'm like, can you please take off free shipping on the website? Please, like, just take off the free shipping so I can actually earn a little bit of money to make up for the fact that you're fucking me over. So he's like, yeah, I'll take out free shipping right now. Free shipping is off. And I'm like, cool. So I received the email a couple days later. I'm like, thank God, I get to figure out everything on how to manage the account. So I'm ready to kick him off. All I gotta do is get the money so I can pay back the loan so I can get him kicked out of my fucking Shopify. So the next week I finally get all the money I needed. Thank fucking God, like, thank God this was over. This was going to be over. I kick him off the Shopify because I pay back all of the loan. That money just went straight back into paying back the loan so that I don't have my Shopify, my store connected to DIPSHIT. So I was like, great. So anyways, I start working on the store by myself. I'm happy. I never have to see him again. I block him and everything. And I find out that he didn't take free shipping off the store. So the next week or so I lost money because he told me that he took away free shipping from the store, and he obviously fucking didn't, because he's just his brain only works for 5 seconds, and I'm so glad I'm not working with him anymore. And I try to think positively, being like, you know what, this guy donated to me when I was going through hard times. This guy was my longest patron. This guy really helped me open up the store. He did open up the store. I didn't need to open up the store or do anything. He did that all, and he taught me how to do everything. He taught me how to manage the store, and it's kind of a bittersweet thing because now I don't need to fucking deal with his inconsiderate ass, the fucking dipshit, childish ass, narcissistic, big ego fucking cunt. Yeah. So I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with him anymore, but now I can do everything myself. And to see things in a brighter side of things, I've found a new person to take his job, and this person is an awesome person. He's a friend. He lives close by to me. He's a lot smarter, a lot more mature. I'm just learning how to be a business owner, how to own a company, how to work in a company, and this is just a stepping stone, a learning stone, and I'm glad that I had to go through this because it made me become a better business owner, and it's making me learn and develop and grow and learn how to do things better with employees or whatever. And I take this all so positively, but it was seriously January and February. I was going to start my uni. I didn't have a laptop to fucking edit in, which means I couldn't make money, which means I couldn't pay rent, which means that I couldn't pay for any of my uni stuff. So I was so fucking stressed out.
The reason why I was so pissed wasn't because of the money. Like, money to me isn't really a big deal, but yeah, when $500 short from a business actually makes a huge difference. It wasn't about the money, it was more so the fact that I couldn't get him off the Shopify account unless I got the money back, so I paid back the loan. Note that he was the one who took out the loan because I couldn't take out a loan because I'm from Australia. So I couldn't kick him out of the account because I needed to pay back the loan. So that was more what it was about, and the fact that he wasn't answering me was so frustrating because I didn't know if his plan was to sabotage me, to just keep ignoring me and just, you know, secretly doing something suspicious with the store or whatever. And I just wanted to get him out of it because I simply did not trust him anymore. And so it was having someone you don't trust be in control of one of the most passionate things in your life is fucking frustrating, and I didn't really express that much in this video, and I just came here to clarify that it wasn't about the money. I don't care about the money.
And that was the hell that I went through. I was literally crying so often. I was meditating so much because I was trying to get myself out of feeling so anxious, and he fucking put me through it, and he didn't even fucking care. And you know what, if you're watching this, Douglas dipshit, sorry, you actually really fucked me over, and you really put me in a fucking hard position. And it could have been any month of the year, but it was the month where I was dealing with not having a laptop, so I couldn't make money, so it was really hard for me to pay for uni stuff. You really fucked me over. You're inconsiderate, you're childish, and I fucking don't ever want to see your fucking little puny ass face again. Just saying. Alright, so that's the biggest rant of my fucking life. I know it might not have any relevance to you guys. You guys might not even relate because I don't know if a lot of you guys even own businesses or whatever, but this is super stressful, and I want to motivate you guys to own a business, to start a business, to have people to work for you. I'm learning this myself, and hopefully when I become more successful, then I'll be able to share that with you. But I want all of my sunflowers to be entrepreneurs. I want all of you guys to work for yourself, don't need to work a 9-to-5 job. And if you also want this to be a series of owning a business and kind of working and learning through it, I can document my process while learning through this, and maybe it might help you guys out as well too. So I love you guys all so much. The video I suggest is up here in the cards, so do check that out. I love you all so much. Bye.